team together. 1, 2, 3, let's hunt.
Hello and welcome, everybody. Any game is about to start. And first of all, if you have questions, please post them in the chat and we'll answer them later. So, what will await you? As we have many first time puzzlers on board, we will use this stream to explain what will await you in the next 2 days. And we might also give some tips on how to puzzle and a little tour on our website. And since this is a seventh any game, and for some related reasons, we chose to put this thing under some INI 007 theming. So some puzzles might revolve around special agents, spy movies, hunting criminals, and such things.
Hello to everyone also from my side. I'll just give a brief overview of any game. So any game, what is it and what will happen the next days? So as many of you already know, any game is a team challenge consisting of logical and hopefully also creative puzzles for you to solve, which all of you hopefully know from demo or the last any games. So I see lots of familiar faces here, or teams rather. And the further you go, the harder it gets. So if you need a bit of time to solve something, it's a feature, not a bug. Again, there will be 3 episodes with plenty of puzzles in each episode, and the solution consists normally of multiple words, numbers, or emojis. The first episode starts in 27 minutes, as you probably also know, at 5 p.m., and will probably last a few hours for most of you. The second episode will start at 11 a.m. tomorrow in German time, and will probably take most of your good portion of the day, if not the whole day. And the third episode, as usual, will be hard. Yeah, with less hints, tougher puzzles, but don't worry, you have all of Sunday at least to try and beat the game. And please be aware that we will be a bit slower again with our support on Sunday, because also we have to sleep. And as most of you know, the real challenge is to beat the game, not to go through it fast. For all of our newcomers, or veterans longing to see a green checkmark, we have prepared a short introduction to the game, website, and Discord, so please enjoy our Anygame 101.
Let's take a tour through our system. If it's your first time playing, you need to register on the website. To do this, click on Register and choose a username and password. We recommend that you play any game with a team. As team members might change from hunt to hunt, teams have to be created and joined per hunt. You will be prompted to either create a team or join an existing team. Coordinate with your friends who creates the team, as this has to be done only once per team. So let's create one. After you have chosen your team name, you will get 2 links you can send to your teammates. One for joining the team for the hunt, and one for joining the team channel on Discord. Now, all we have to do is wait for the hunt to start.
In the meantime, you can join our Discord server. It is set up to serve as a communication hub during the hunt. Important updates before, during, or after the event will be published in announcements. If you don't have a team yet or want to add additional puzzlers to your team, have a look at the Find Your Team channel. The channel chat is the default area to communicate with all teams. Please keep it free of spoilers and friendly for everyone. And in memes, the submitted spoiler-free memes will be published. After showing the team members active on the server, you will find Eni, our friendly bot, on the right. Send her a message to get a list of possible commands she can process. At the moment, the important one is the join command. use the code provided on the website to join your team's Discord channel. You can access it on our webpage via User Teams. In the newly joined channel, you can communicate with your team. The admins can also access this channel and can take a look at your progress, should you ever get stuck on a puzzle.
Once the hunt starts, puzzles will appear under the Game tab on the website. Type in any answers you found into the answer field to have them checked. There are 4 different types of feedback the system might give you. A red X means that the creator of the puzzle was looking for something different. A green check mark means that you found the final answer to the puzzle and your team advances to the next puzzle. Nice! Note that you can see the last answers of your team on the right. Pro tip: keep an eye on this to notice typos. There is also the hint panel. For each puzzle, we have prepared a series of hints that will be visible for your team after you spend a certain amount of time on the puzzle. Those hints are the same for each team, and the time you have to wait to see them are the same for each team as well. A light bulb will appear if you found a so-called eureka. Those are correct intermediate results that will show you are on track. Once you found it, it will appear on the right. In addition, a eureka might correspond to a hint. Entering such a eureka makes both hint and eureka appear, and you immediately start the waiting time for the next hint. A fragmented light bulb means that you are very close to a eureka or the answer of the puzzle. Depending on the puzzle, this might mean different things. Maybe try a different spelling, an anagram, a synonym, or whatever makes sense in the current puzzle. So make sure to enter all intermediate results in the system.
A neat feature you can use are the shared notes to communicate ideas with your team. They are persistent per puzzle, and you can even use colors to highlight stuff. If you do not want to use Discord but still want to chat, feel free to use the chat system integrated on our website to communicate with your team. Should you have team members on Discord, this will synchronize with the chat there.
In the unlikely event that the website behaves strangely, try to refresh the page by pressing the refresh button of your browser, or F5 on Windows and Linux, or Command R on Mac. In severe cases, a hard refresh that resets the browser cache of the site might help as well. For most browsers on Linux or Windows, this is done by pressing Ctrl F5. Mac users might want to try Command Shift R.
Hello! Also a very warm welcome from me to Anygame this time around. Now, after you've got a nice introduction into our backend and our frontend systems, we want to also give you a little bit of some pointers of how to puzzle for everybody who is new to Anygame. Now, the number 1 rule to be successful as puzzling is team communication. So whatever you find out, what you think is interesting, or what you just noticed, tell everybody. Even if you don't think this will lead to anything, it might be that somebody else has an idea of what to do with it, even if you don't really know how to progress any further. And if you throw all ideas into one pot, you get a lot more out of it than just grooming over it. The number 2 thing that's super important is there's no such thing as a not so bright idea. Yeah? Even the idea that sounds really bad might be actually the idea that we came up with. I mean, who knows? And even if the idea doesn't lead to anything and turns out to be not the brightest idea you ever had, it might be that this will lead to something that you remember forever because it was such a, let's say, creative idea. For example, did we once suggest to lick a box because we ran out of ideas? Yes. Would this have led to anything? Except for getting sick? No, very likely not. But still, we remember this for many years past, so just feel free to come up with whatever strange idea you might find. And this might also be very valuable for creating some memes later on, so give it a go. The next thing is, if you don't really know what to do, you can always have a look at our rules and information page on the web page. This has some common approaches, how to solve puzzles on it, and also some common ciphers and just general tools that are useful to progress. This is not an exhaustive list. There might be things on there that are not used. Also, it doesn't contain everything that is required for any game. But it's a good start to like get some new ideas. And then also like Google whatever you think could be interesting, or also what could not be interesting, and see if you can find out more information about that. But be aware that Google is like a very huge area, so always make sure to like double check certain things. Especially like, for example, if you like find out like about certain ciphers or so, quite often there are like multiple versions of a cipher online. So it's always good to double check if this is like the correct one you've just found. And also if you want to decipher something, there's like almost for everything something online where you can decode or decipher certain things. So definitely worth it to check the internet for clues. And now, after this brief introduction about puzzling, we will go on with BMAT, who is going to tell you something about memes.
Thank you very much. As per usual, there will be something in for the connoisseurs of the meme culture as well, namely a competition for the best meme. And this time around, we split this into 3 categories: the best meme in image form, the best meme in video form, and the best artwork. And in case you come up with a submission which does not fit any of these categories, we might even award a prize in an additional category. So no matter what, be creative. We are very much looking forward to it. We will have a pre-selection on which you can vote your final winner during the closing stream on Sunday evening. And there will be, of course, honor and glory for the winners and also a prize, but more on that later. We very much appreciate all submissions, and we are very much looking forward to what you all will come up with. For this AnyGame for NI7, we currently have 560 registered users in 160 teams. This number will grow as the competition goes on, but that's what we are starting with. In total, we form a large and very friendly community, and it's always a colorful hustle and bustle playing AnyGame with all of you. And to keep it like this, we will moderate the chat for spoilers and rude behavior, and we will not tolerate bullying or any form of discrimination and delete any inappropriate comments or memes. So if you want to banter with your friends, just please keep it to your team channels. We will, as in the last AnyGames, get supported by our trusty mod StoneX, so a big shout out to him at this place. Thank you very much for being part of the team this time around again. And I will now hand over to Orion with even more information for you.
Yes, I have a small advertising section for even more puzzling. As you might have already seen on Discord or our website, or because you were lucky enough to get one when you were starting at TUM, we handed out flyers. And these flyers contained a not so easy physical puzzle. And we won't spoil the solution here, but you can check the solution and get hints on our website. And you can also find the flyer there. You can download it. And disclaimer, it makes sense to print it on paper as it's a physical puzzle. And then finally, and most importantly, thank you to all of you who sent in drawings of hotel rooms. We were really overwhelmed by your responses and your creativity. And we were also very humbled by the love for AnyGame and puzzling that is very apparent in all of the rooms. Thank you very, very much. Well, I guess everyone is very curious to take a look at these amazing rooms now, but not to worry, you will be seeing them soon enough. Wink, wink. Now back to you, SBA.
Yeah, so as we already mentioned, we will host the finishing stream on Sunday evening, 8 p.m. here on Twitch again. And be careful, daylight saving time is ending this Sunday. So keep that in mind when, well, checking your clock for scheduling things for the end stream. Also, as usual by now, the first 3 teams will get some prizes and goodies, but we will only be able to send them if the shipping costs are reasonable. And a big shout out to the Technical University of Munich for sponsoring the prizes. They will, as usual by now, consist of collectible keychains, tailor-made for this event, of course. So back to Kosoi.
Thank you, SBA. So, usually there are no questions, but I think there was one in chat. So I think one of you asked what the broken light bulbs are for, since you always put in the correct answers. Of course, you've never seen them. But if we think that the solution is sometimes hard to spell or easy to misspell because it's a weird location or something, then we have the option to give you a heads up that you're almost there with your answer, but not quite, that you maybe have one letter too less or wrong, or it's not the quite correct way we want it to be spelled. So this is what the broken light bulbs are for. I think that's what is it in questions, and I think you're all as hyped and prepared as we are for this hunt. I think this is it from our side, and we wish you good luck, lots of fun, and especially I hope you enjoy what we've come up with this time. So let's hunt. 15 minutes to go. Hype?
Good luck, have fun, enjoy any game.
Bye.